Like that thing that generally you would say, hey, it's just a fill in the blank. Shouldn't cost that much, but it's totally worth buying. Story 1. For me and my geographic location, anything that gives me sunlight and exposure to fresh air. I have a convertible, not more expensive than other cars. I also have an electric bike that did cost money. A motorcycle or scooter would serve the same purpose. They say money doesn't buy happiness, but I get a lot of joy out of both. Story 2-1. Tools. This doesn't mean you need to buy the most expensive version, but you should invest in quality if you think you might need it again. Kitchen implements, especially cookware and knives. Attorneys. If you need a lawyer, don't base your choice on cost. Tattoos, for the same reasons. Shoes and boots. This is important if you do manual labor, but even if you don't, you should still take care of your feet. Tailoring. A $50 shirt that's been tailored is almost always going to look better than a $500 shirt that hasn't. Your health. Invest in staying healthy and start young. Food. You are what you eat, so buy real food made of real ingredients. Education. Never stop learning. You don't get old because you've lived a long time. You get old because you stop taking in new information. That might mean classes, or it could just be subscriptions to audiobooks or educational streaming services. 10. Travel. See the world. Don't be a tourist. Be a traveler. Story 3. Good quality clothing. Shoes included. Not only will you look better and be more comfortable, but it will last and save you money in the long run. Gym membership or at-home equipment. Story 4. A top-notch fragrance. Assuming you are already well-groomed and take care of yourself, a fragrance will help you come across like you have got your act together to others. People will appreciate the fact that you smell good and may even learn to associate that scent with you. Story 5. I hate to be one of those, but an air fryer will save you a lot of hassle with cooking. It does a lot of frozen food better than an oven as well. It doesn't have to be that expensive either. There are decent second-hand ones. Story 6. High-quality jacket, good watch, wallet, pocket knife, and maybe a good pair of boots. I have always been a fan of buy once, cry once, as long as you can afford it. And it's something worthwhile to you. Story 7. A rice cooker. Yes, they are cheap. Yes, you can make rice on the stove. The ease of use, the space saved on my cooktop, and the perfect rice every time make it totally worth the money. Story 8. I feel like it's expensive for what it is, and it's totally worth it, are mutually exclusive ideas. But for my part, I'd say a quality bike. Cheap bikes work, but you can break into a whole new level of quality and comfort if you spend a little extra money. It's a wonderful investment that will save you money by saving you gas, keeping you healthy, and keeping you outdoors if you use it a lot. I live in a rural area and I still bike all the time. You can really get around on those things and they're so fun. Story 9. Extreme quality footwear. I got my shoes handmade and they cost me a little over $500. They are a pair of leather dress boots with Vibram work boot soles. I am on my feet 10 to 12 hours per day at work. I have significant knee and ankle injuries and I can run or jog around the dealership in them, go home, and my legs, feet, and back do not hurt. They do require more substantial maintenance than a more typical pair of shoes, though. Story 10. Anything that automates or partially automates a chore, like air fryers, good coffee makers, and diaper genies, frees up so much of your life. Make time for recreation and joy with high-quality versions of your hobby items. I'm committed to a very specific running shoe, and I have a motorcycle. I also keep a Nintendo Switch. You'll spend more buying inferior versions of these items than if you just get the good ones. Finally, experiences. This is where a lot of people don't spend money. Go on vacations and unique outings. They leave an impression. If you're always tired, depressed, and bored, you just buy unnecessary stuff and don't enjoy your life. This is more as a person than as a man to me. I don't know. Story 11. Proper traditionally made boots from good leather tend to cost an arm and a leg. But then again, I at least feel like you get your money's worth. Your feet are always cozy, and the boots can last for decades unless you use them all day every day. Story 12. A nice watch. There's something about reaching a point of success in life and owning a nice watch. They're essentially antiquated, but it's nice to enjoy the engineering and utility of a nice watch. They will last a lifetime and make great generational gifts. Something like an Omega or Breitling. Story 13. Quality tools. You can buy cheap tools frequently or one quality tool once. Buy once, cry once. Most of your name brand drills and impacts like Milwaukee, DeWalt, and Ryobi should last you a while, with Milwaukee being some of the longest lasting but more expensive of the consumer brands. Story 14. Portable phone charger. Sure, you can find some place to charge your phone, or your phone battery might even last the whole day, but it is an added insurance that you'll get to enjoy. Story 15. Scentless roll-on deodorant. Gym membership to a good gym. Not just a Planet Fitness or a Pure Gym, and a nice fragrance. Good quality soap for the shower, no Old Spice or Axe. Oh yeah, and condoms. Story 16. Please step up your game. So many men walking by air smell like straight poop. Of course, with that, wash yourself. Cologne on top of musk is nasty too. Story 17. I got a shiatsu back and butt massager. You put it in your office chair or car and use the controller. Costs around $120 at Walmart. Very nice for a relaxing sit. Story 18. Adam Carolla had a good thought back in the day. If you have a good bed, a good car, and a good television, your day can only be so miserable. I try and spend my money where I spend my time for maximum enjoyment. Story 19. Good cookware. Knives, cooking utensils, measuring spoons and cups. A good 10 to 12-inch skillet. Spend a little extra on the ones you use all the time. It's cheap, but it's awesome. 8 to 12-ounce squirt bottles like you'd have ketchup in. I put cooking oil in mine. Makes me feel like a chef. Story 20. Quality tools. I have never had a really good tool that left all the trash ones like the ones my father had in the dust. Even something as simple as a side cutter or a quality screwdriver. Story 21. Vitamins and supplements. With modern farming methods and soil quality nowadays, the fruits and vegetables we have to eat are nutritionally a far cry from the ones our grandparents ate. Stuff like vitamins D, B, and C, as well as magnesium glycinate, omega-3, and zinc can cost you upwards of $50 to $75 altogether at Costco, but they will last you a long time, like over a year. I have been taking the aforementioned ones for a while now every day, along with creatine because I exercise regularly, and let me tell you, my quality of day-to-day life has noticeably increased. I would recommend them for everyone in today's world. Story 22. A well-fitting tux. You look very dapper and it's cheaper than hiring one. Another benefit I found was at my previous place of work. I mentioned to our marketing team that I had my own tuxedo at home, so I started being the stand-in for the black tie events that the company would send people to. Invariably, someone would drop out on the day, so rather than having an empty seat they'd paid for, they'd offer it to me as I had the outfit needed. It meant I got to go to quite a few expenses-paid events. Story 23. A professionally fitted suit with a decent pair of leather shoes and comfortable shirts. It's nice to see how women react to a man who has confidence in his looks. Story 24. Tools. Every man should have his own tools. They are expensive but very much worth the investment. And don't waste your money on low-quality tools. Buy the best. No regrets. Story 25. Hi-Fi in-ear monitor with detachable cables. The first thing to go bad with any headphones and earphones is the cable. I can't tell you how many I've gone through over the years, some expensive ones too. With detachable cables, in-ear monitors allow me to just change the cable. The monitors themselves don't really go bad. In fact, they sound better after breaking in. My current one is 3 years old and still going. Buy a good one, and it can last you decades. Story 26. Vintage cast iron skillets. A good Griswold or favorite Piqua will cost $50 or more depending on what you get, but it's infinitely better made than the new low-quality Lodge skillets at big box stores, cooks better, and is much more versatile than most commercial skillets sold nowadays. My most used piece is a colonial bacon and egg skillet that cost a little over $100 at the time, but was well worth it. Fry 4 eggs and the most perfect bacon at the same time. Second is my number 8 favorite. That thing makes the perfect buffalo chicken dip, amazing cornbread, and handles stove to oven like a champ. Story 27. I use a variety of no cosmetics products, and the cost adds up over time. But if you find a routine that works for you, you're rewarded with amazing skin. It's just some moisturizer. It shouldn't be that much, but $10 per 150 milliliter bottle and multiple products. Well, story 28. Anything that you use often. Comfortable shoes, a warm, durable coat, a nice set of tools. Expensive is relative. If the money is worth the added value, then it's not expensive, especially if buying the cheap version of something ends up costing more money over time. Story 29. A good kitchen knife. I bought my wife a Shun Chef's knife, and it is the only one she uses now. Costs a bit, but they hold an edge and will last you if you take care of them. Also, use a good whetstone on it, please. Story 30. Custom-sized shoes. If you are going to wear your shoes for long periods on your feet, having custom shoes makes a huge difference. Not everyone's shoes have the same width-to-length ratio or exactly the same shape. Poorly fitting shoes lead to pressure sores, blisters, calluses, and circulation issues. These injuries are more noticeable with age, but the damage starts when you're young and compounds. The sooner you can get custom-sized shoes, the better. Standard shoe size is D width. You can get everything from AA to EEE. Each brand has different lasts, which is the form they make the shoe around. Nike has a bigger toe box and the arch is further back than Adidas, for instance. Finding the right balance between length, width, arch, and toe box will greatly improve how your feet feel. While custom shoes and boots have a higher purchase price, they are typically very serviceable, and you can have them rebuilt for a fraction of the cost, allowing you to make a pair you love last a lifetime. Story 31. A steamer with 3 layers to steam your meal. Called the Atlantic diet and healthier than even the Mediterranean food. Just pour a little water and steam. Keeps all the good nutrients in it. Nothing you spoil by throwing away the cooking water. Story 32. Dual action random orbital polisher. Quiet high-quality case and central processing unit fan. A good all-purpose handgun, a very good mechanical keyboard, pressure washer, air compressor, running shoes, good tires, a good set of wireless headphones, a good smoker, Costco membership. Story 33. A house. Duh. Bonus points if a man can do it on one single income all by himself. Envy the time people can finally save up for a deposit to cross the property Rubicon from renting to owning. Story 34. Clothes. They don't have to be designer clothes. In fact, avoid any sort of fast or even high fashion. What you want is something that doesn't look like much but is actually a pleasure to wear. Other than that, a razor. You can be the sharpest tool in the box, but you would look like a total idiot if your razor let you down at the wrong moment. Story 35. Good quality tools. Not necessarily the most expensive ones, but good quality ones that should last you more than 2 projects. For example, a good set of precision screwdrivers, a good impact driver, a good set of drill bits, a good set of pliers, and so on. Assuming, of course, you're into do-it-yourself projects and can justify buying them and using them. I just love buying tools of all kinds. Story 36. A metal melting furnace. I got one, and I am now the most popular dude around. It's not even big, just a tiny electric one that plugs in. I showed it to my coworkers, and they were like, "Bro, let's melt some stuff." As a man, I am in heaven. It was like $200 to $300. I am not showing off my chemistry set yet, but I plan to get some personal life friends over to the house later. Story 37. A proper shave kit. Even if you prefer electric or not. My dad got mine when I was 13, works like a charm, and I'm 24. It will be functional my whole life. Story 38. A nice watch. If you want one that's good and looks timeless, you can spend crazy amounts. But besides telling the time, it also makes you appear more respectable. I've definitely noticed being treated differently when wearing and not wearing a watch when discussing business. Story 39. Good running shoes. I used to believe that $120 for a pair of gym shoes was foolish until I decided to be frugal and buy a $40 pair that looked cool. My fascia were so damaged I had to crawl because I could not manage to walk. Story 40. A nice suit or wardrobe. A nice watch. A squat rack. A blood glucose monitor. High-quality groceries. Good cologne. Nice sheets. Good pillows. quality tools, especially if you work with them, a truck, camping gear, at least one hobby with a social element, tires, a mattress, the living room TV. Your mileage may vary depending on your lifestyle, but whatever you do a lot, like if you run, have quality shoes. Story 41. Stovetop coffee maker. Pays for itself in a week. Makes 1 to 6 cups of coffee depending on the size you get. No waste outside of coffee grounds, which you can recycle. It's small, takes up less room than a coffee maker, easy to clean and keep clean. You can make espresso with it as well. Story 42. A good, reliable smartphone. Travel, entertainment, music, battery life, gaming, photography. I never regret owning a $1,000 smartphone, especially considering the cost per hour of use over the years. Story 43. I slept in my car for a while in my early 20s but had a really good gym membership. The kind with all the equipment, various rooms, steam room, sauna, great locker room, and places to hang out. Do not skimp on a gym membership that makes you want to go and work out. If you're going to construct a home gym, do the math and spend the money to make something you'd actually want to use. Story 44. A pickup truck is expensive to buy, uses a lot of fuel, and you need to learn how to repair it to keep it running well. However, it will be worth all that time, money, and effort in your ability to do it yourself almost everything in your life. Roofer quoted you $20,000? Do it yourself for $3,000. Your basement has filled up with unneeded junk? Take it to Goodwill and drop it off. Do you need to tow another car home because it has broken down? Rent a tow dolly. Going skiing? Put it in four-wheel drive. Camping? You know what to do. And of course, dogs love trucks.